And she started with Winnipeg Transit in 1999 as a bus operator. And she worked through the 1-hour certificate, and then she was promoted as acting instructor after 5 years on the job. She then worked on and completed her certificate in adult education. She worked for 5 years as an acting instructor, and 7 months ago promoted to operations supervisor at Winnipeg Transit, where she supervises 250 bus operators. Plus, she's also a mom on top of this, and a wife, a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. Ladies, Patti Cross.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak about my career to this point. It truly has been a whirlwind, and as the saying goes, time flies when you're having fun. I have to admit, where I've ended up isn't where I envisioned myself when I was a child. But I definitely would not change a thing. I have to admit, I wasn't a fan of high school, and I struggled academically, even failing grade 7. After high school, I worked full-time at Tim Hortons, and I also worked other part-time jobs. I decided right after high school that I wanted to move out and live on my own. So I really, truly got a taste of what it's like to do that. And it also didn't take me long to realize that I wanted more than that. I decided to go to Herzing Career College, and I took a medical transcriptionist course. After completing the course, I worked as a receptionist at a chiropractor's office for 3 years. Again, I had the feeling of, okay, what's next? I want more than this. As I was riding the bus home one day from work, I saw an ad looking for people with drive. Winnipeg Transit was hiring bus operators. I thought, why not? I could do that. Meanwhile, I hadn't driven anything bigger than my boyfriend's SUV. I applied, and then so it began. In January 1999, my career at Winnipeg Transit began as a bus operator. If I was looking for a challenge, I definitely got it. Operating a 40-foot bus through extreme weather conditions, construction, traffic, all the while dealing with a variety of customers. Turns out, the driving is the easy part. There's some stories. If you have a day or two. So after being at Transit for a year, I was married. And then my son Riley was born a year after that. 2 years after that, my daughter Paige was born. They're now 7 and 9. Working long hours with split shifts was definitely a challenge, but I'm very thankful for my husband because he truly played Mr. Mom. He got the kids up for school, he got the kids ready in the morning, he also took them to daycare, and then he picked them up at night, and did a lot of work. He played a huge role in our success. After 3 years driving bus, guess what? I decided I wanted to do something else. I wanted to move up. So I began taking human resource certificate courses, with the goal of eventually becoming an operations supervisor with Transit. As a bus operator, the operations supervisor was my boss. In order to meet that goal, I applied for a position of street supervisor. So that would be basically, if you notice the vans out on the street, checking up with operators, making sure everything's okay, that would be that role. That would be a stepping stone to the role of operations supervisor. I was unsuccessful, and I was very discouraged. But I decided to continue on with my human resource courses and wait for the next opportunity. It came not too much longer when Winnipeg Transit, they were looking for instructors. I was ecstatic. An opportunity to teach new bus operators. I really felt well suited for that position. I worked hard to prepare for my interview and the presentation that was required as part of the process. I was successful this time, and for the next 5 years, I worked in the training branch, teaching new operators. In the evenings, I finished completing my human resource management certificate, and then I completed my certificate in adult education. 3 years into my role as an instructor, guess what? I started getting itchy. I was starting to realize I had a pattern going here. Every 3 years, I was asking myself, what's next? I decided to speak to my human resource manager about taking on more development opportunities with the goal of, again, becoming operations supervisor. I was given the opportunity to sit on an interview panel for the Winnipeg Police Service, and this was involving their competition of police constables moving up to become patrol sergeants, which was an absolutely phenomenal experience. Very professional people. Soon after, I applied and took on a secondment with the City of Winnipeg Corporate Education Branch. In that role, I managed courses, and I taught a customer service course to a variety of City of Winnipeg employees. After returning to transit, a posting came up for operations supervisor. They were looking for 2 people. I was very excited again. I realized this may be my one and only chance to achieve my ultimate goal. I started preparing right away, and I put everything I had into it. I sent my family to the lake, and I stayed home and prepared the whole entire weekend. I can honestly have never worked so hard preparing. In the end, myself and 2 co-workers were chosen for 3 positions. Now, you have to understand that transit is a very male-dominated workplace. There have always been men in upper management positions, and the majority of bus operators are male, approximately 85%. My coworker Lorraine and I became the first female operations supervisor in Winnipeg Transit history in July of last year. I accomplished this goal in 11 years, also making me the youngest person ever hired as an operations supervisor. My new role is rewarding, but has been the biggest challenge I've ever undertaken. I'm responsible for managing the performance of 250 bus operators. The road hasn't been easy so far. It's only been 7 months. And some people have been skeptical of my abilities. A lot of the people that I supervise are older than my father, and you can tell that they're doubting my ability. I really had to prove myself, and I'm still proving myself, and earned people's trust because of my age and because of the fact that I'm female. Initially, I heard all kinds of comments, and some people wouldn't look me in the eyes. But time heals everything, and I am breaking through those barriers. I think part of the reason I've been successful is because I was willing to take a chance and take on different challenges. I gained a lot of experience through those opportunities. I think that success is equal to personal happiness and is a journey in itself. No matter what you do for a living, ask yourself, are you happy with your choices? If not, set your goals to align with your happiness. I think success is measured constantly throughout your career. Every 3 years. I also think maintaining a work-life balance and having support systems in place is very important. I wish you all the best in your journey as you work along the path of career success. Thank you very much.